Hi guys, it's Ray here from City Fan TV. Hope you're very well. Indeed, Tuesday evening here in the UK. It's just 9:40 in the evening, and I'm on for a few minutes to have a chat about Manchester City. We'll mention a few things like Houssem Aouar, any bits and pieces of transfer gossip that's out there. I pick up in the papers. We'll talk a little bit about the fact that Man City are going to have some friendlies before the season recommences. Might mention something about Aguero's birthday. Is it today? And I think that's about it. See who comes on. Hey, Aaron, how you doing, buddy? Nice to have you on board, mate. Hope you're very well. Hope you're very well indeed. Yeah, it's a hot one. It's been a hot day, hasn't it? Hi, Sean. Hope you're well, mate. And I hope everybody's well, and hopefully, if you can, safely enjoy the sun. I hope you're enjoying the sun. I hope you're enjoying the sun, guys. So yeah, let's start off. Brad Newblock, I'm not sure whether it's not to renew. To be honest, have they asked you, Brad? Have they asked you if you want to renew it? Because there's no news on next season's season cards. No news on that at all as of yet. And they're refunding, if you want it refunding, they're refunding people's season card tickets for the Real Madrid game, and the women's season card ticket as well. So that's all. If they're going to do all that, I think I can't see them taking money off you next season, Brad, until that's been resolved. I'm not sure there's going to be footsie with fans next season yet, so we'll just have to wait and see. I'm surprised they're going to take the money out, Brad. I'm surprised. Is it still 25 quid? I'll be shocked. When did they say this? It can't be something recent. I can't see it being something recent because what's the point? I mean, there's not a lot. I suspect there's only a few thousand people on this, and 25 quid a pop. What if there's 4,000 people on it? They'll make 100 grand. I don't think City are desperate for money, desperate enough to do something like that. It just sounds something that they shouldn't be doing. Hi, Chris, NUFC. Yeah, Newcastle's still not happening. We'll have to wait and see. If it's going to happen, it's going to happen. Chris Lindley, how you doing, mate? Hope you're well. Hope everybody's well. So Aaron's looking forward to meeting some friends this weekend. Going back to school on Monday. My lad was supposed to go back last week, but he did. Yesterday he's not going. He's going back just for his exams. So he's now got 2 weeks off. So he's thinking happy days, 2 weeks with no school. Hope you look after yourself, Sean. All right, let's talk about Sergio Aguero. Sergio Aguero, City's all-time leading goal scorer. It's his birthday today, his 32nd birthday. He scored a ridiculous amount of goals for City. Is it 180 in the league? It's got a lot of goals for City. And well clear at the top of our rankings. Was it Napoli last season when he broke the record? And obviously he'll always be remembered for the goal at 93-20 in 2012 we won the league title, and for scoring bundles of goals ever since. So I wish a happy birthday to Sergio. I'm all right, Chris. I'm all right, mate. I hope you are too. Why does Newcastle United have to do things the hard way? Hey, it's these things. I mean, you got Mike Ashley to deal with, so it's not going to be a straightforward business with Mike knocking around. So let's have a quick think of what's going through. City are looking for, I think they're trying to get a new academy manager, basically a new youth manager, under 18s. As if you remember last week, Gareth Taylor, he was announced as the new head coach of the women's team. He obviously previously been in charge of the under 18s. That's for the last 3 seasons. And he's played for City as a striker. So he's done all right there. They retained their under 18s Premier League Cup. They were top of the league. in the semi-finals of the Youth Cup, FA Youth Cup. And also, it's quite notable that Tommy Doyle and Taylor Howard-Bellis had been promoted to the first team training, and they both played in the first team as well. So it's going to be very interesting to see who takes over there. Well, we'll see what happens. What else is going down? Let's talk about apparently Man City and Man United have been given approval to stage friendlies before the season starts. Obviously, the season's supposed to start on the 17th. Have you sent it me, Brad? If you have, I apologise. I don't. Maybe I have. Maybe I haven't seen it. If you haven't sent it me, just send it me on Twitter. I'll have a quick look at it, mate. No problems. So yeah, Man United, Man City are going to play friendlies before the season starts, but there's going to be obviously very strict guidelines have been issued, so you can do that. No team can travel more than 90 minutes for a match. Players must travel in their own cars, while members of coaching staff will officiate the matches as referees will not be allowed. So you're basically looking at, no one's going to say, let's drive for 90 minutes, send the players in their own cars for 90 minutes, play a game of footy, then drive back 90 minutes. So I reckon, you're looking at 30 minutes from Manchester, I would suspect. And matches can either be played inside stadiums or at training grounds, which would be risk assessed before matches, and those involved would have to have a negative result from coronavirus testing. So teams are now expected to organise friendlies for the forthcoming weekend. Apparently, Leicester City will host Aston Villa. That's what the MEN are saying, at the King Power Stadium as one of those matches. Championship sides have already received requests to play games against Premier League opposition and must follow the same guidelines. Full contact training for Championship clubs was approved on Monday evening. So, are they going to play behind are they going to play against Championship clubs? Are they going to play against Premier League clubs? Or are they going to play a game? They can play a game between, 11 aside between themselves. So, but yeah, it'd be interesting. It'd be interesting to see who they play. And you'd like to think they've got a good relationship then with whoever they're playing. So let's look at your comments. Thanks, Brad. I'll have a look at that, mate. Chris says that's why we need Mike Ashley gone. Yeah, I think it'll go through, but I don't know what the hold-up is. Who do you think we will sign? I have no idea, Zidane. Honestly, no idea. So let's talk about Houssem Aouar and more transfer rumours. It's reported again that Man City will face competition from Juventus for talented Lyon midfielder Houssem Aouar. Okay, that sounds reasonable because I spoke to somebody a couple of weeks ago and that's basically what he said. As a French guy, 3 weeks ago, and he said there's a link there and he'd probably go there for the right money, but obviously if City are knocking on the door, there's a good chance that he'd go here. So it's going to be interesting to see whether we go for Houssem Aouar. Obviously, you remember that we played Lyon in the Champions League last season. I think Pep's had some very good words about Houssem Aouar and Tanguy Ndombele. But look, he's still a kid. He's only 21 years old. Okay, he's had a bit of a break because obviously the league has been cancelled. It's been stopped. 21 is nothing. But L'Equipe, the sports paper in France, claimed that the club have resigned themselves to losing him this summer, and the door is open for his departure. Now, City and Juventus are two clubs supposed to be interested, but apparently no negotiations have begun. It might wait till after City's appeal for the Champions League ban has been heard by UEFA. Once that's been heard, if we're exonerated, then maybe that will give more. There's more of a likelihood that players will want to come. Obviously, if you get a 2-year ban, Houssem Aouar. Let's look at him as an example. He's offered Juventus and Man City. City are banned for 2 years. Well, then for me, it's a no-brainer for him. Go to Juventus. You want to play in the Champions League. Juventus are going to be in the Champions League. No question about that. If City are not banned or they're banned for 1 year, then maybe he'll think about City because, hey, Pep Guardiola, best manager in the world. So, he'll hope that Pep improves him no end. So it makes a much, much more difficult decision. I, I think it's a pretty ludicrous story about Leonardo Bonucci on the face of it. That City trying to sign him. Pep's liked being an admirer of his for years. And obviously we struggled since Vincent left in terms of leadership, and the injury to Emerick Laporte. And we really struggled. But it's going to be interesting. So Calcio Mercato are claiming Bonucci's Pep's primary target for the upcoming transfer window, but Juventus are not interested in selling. It'll be interesting to see what happens. Let's go through your comments before we clock off for the day. I'm very well. I am 10. How do you think we'll do against Arsenal? I don't know. I mean, it's one of those. It might be a great opportunity for Arsenal because, we're not in that run. We're not playing regular football. It's the first game back, But I'd like to think that we'll be at it because we played Arsenal first game of last season. We were at it straight away, and we beat them 2-0. We weren't brilliant. Actually, I was looking through my WhatsApp messages for that particular game. I was looking through some stuff, and just thinking whether I say something. We'll leave it for the time being. But yeah, I was looking through the messages. It's very, very interesting what somebody said about somebody else, who apparently someone told me has been on his channel. And but how can you speak about him in such low terms and then praise him? How can you speak to somebody behind the back like that and then praise him when you get the chance and get him on your channel as well? Tut. Yeah, hey, Cram. Look, there's so many people changing the names. It's hard to keep up sometimes. Aaron, I wonder when we'll be allowed to attend football matches, maybe just season ticket holders. No. Season ticket holders, no. City have got 43,000 season ticket holders. Ain't happening. You'll be lucky to get a few thousand in the ground. I think it's not worth it for all the aggro that's going to happen. All the aggro that's going to happen. I don't think it's worth it for clubs to get 2,000 or 3,000 people in. What money are you going to get on 3,000 people? I just can't see it. I just can't see it happening myself. Do you rate any of our loan players? I can't remember now off the top of my head who we've got out. Got Philippe Sandler, supposed to be okay, but I think he'll stay in Belgium because he was injured most of the season. And another chance to play with Vincent Kompany as a pair. So off the top of my head, I can't think of too many others that are of a good enough level. We've got people like Danny Grimshaw out on loan, but he's not. I think he's in the National League. So there's nobody at a level that I think, wow, yeah, I really look forward to see what he's doing. And generally, when they leave and go on loan, you don't expect them to come back. Lacazette or Jesus? Wow, Jesus, because he's younger. Saul Niguez, he's up. Well, I don't think so. Imran, Ikram. Think about Saul Niguez. He said he's got a contract till, is it 2025 or 2026 at Atletico Madrid? So is he? And he's what's his buy clause? It's 140 million quid. So I'm not so sure about that. He's put some teasers out about his new club. There's people think, yeah, it's going to be Man United. He started following some Man United things on Instagram. But it could just easily be the Saul Niguez new nightclub, in Madrid. So who knows? He's just playing silly beggars. But and as I said, was it yesterday or the day? Yesterday, I think I said United have got this problem. They got a financial problem because the Glazers in America. United isn't their number one priority. It's probably they've got a sports franchise over there as well, I think, and they've got all those shopping malls. So I think they're the priorities. But United are the ones who give them a lot of money. The problem is United are going to, without fans at the ground next season, United are looking at up to about 130, 140 million less in income. And if they don't get in the Champions League again, then I think there was that talk of Adidas reducing their sponsorship by 10 or 15 million quid, and it's going to have an impact. So there's a lot of money United won't be getting next season, and they're not getting this season. You got to remember that they get something like 4 million quid a game match day income. So if they're missing 5 games for the rest of the season, that's 20 million quid that's disappeared. Add that on to next season, they're in big trouble financially. It's not as if they're going to go out of business, but they're not going to have the spare cash. They're not going to have the strength in their balance sheet, I think, to cope with that loss of money. So that loan, I think, is just to keep paying the players and the staff. There might be some left over for transfers, but 140 million for Sol Niguez, they ain't paying that. I'll tell you that. If they do, you can come back and have a go at me, Ikram. But I'm saying it ain't happening. Do you think our ban will be reduced to a year, Zidane? I think that's what UEFA are hoping. I hope they're hoping that when they put a 1-year ban up there, and people and clubs have gone to the Court of Arbitration for Sport, CAS, and there's been a little bit of a problem with something with what UEFA have done in the admin or whatever, or a technicality, and then they get off. And because it's a 1-year ban, the only thing lower than that is a 0. And that's it. So maybe the idea is I put in a 2-year ban, that if there are some problems with what UEFA are saying, but on the technical side of things, maybe they're hoping that CAS reduce it to 1 season. Sean, Ian Cheeseman has been on Andy's channel. Yes, I heard someone said that to me today. That's why I was looking. I was looking back at some messages as to what Andy said about Ian Cheeseman, which obviously cannot repeat, but basically it's a 4-letter word. Anyway, it's what happens let's say it happens in the heat of the moment, when people behave like that and say things like that. But in public, obviously, you're going to be very, very different. Let's wrap this up. Go through your last messages. Ikram is signing a midfield essential for the next window. We already have KDB, Bernardo Silva, Gundogan, and Foden. If you say KDB, always plays as KDB. Okay, Bernardo Silva, Gundogan, and Foden. I think Foden will get time, but I also think I want somebody else, because I don't want to rotate between Bernardo Silva, Gundogan, and Foden for that other spot. I want somebody else who's. Foden's not going to get 30 games next season, okay, in my opinion. So no, I don't think I don't have any issue with getting another player for next season. I want, my main thing is Ikram, I want someone better than what we've already got. That's always been, that's my key for this and our next transfer window. I want at least 2 players who are better than what we've currently got. Now, if we go out and get David Alaba or somebody, who's that fella at was it Dortmund or Bayern Munich? That Alfonso, he looks all right. If we get a class left who's better than what we've got, or a class centre back who's better than what we've already got, or a class midfielder who's better than what we've already got, that's what I want. That's it, Alfonso Davies. I want 2 players who are better than what we've already got and who will walk into that team. That's what I want to see. I want to see 2 players who will walk into that team, push somebody else out. Havertz has been talking. I'm not sure about him. Kai Havertz, I would like. Oh, well, sorry. I thought you meant Hernandez. Sorry, misread that. Havertz, I think Havertz would be a good addition. I just want, that's the main thing. The last 2 seasons, we've not got anybody in who's capable, who's good enough to immediately push somebody else out of the team. Mahrez didn't do that initially. And I've said many times, I think if Leroy Sané had been fit and wanted to play for City, he's a better choice to me, having Sterling and Sané on than Mahrez. So that Mahrez has been lucky as well. He's not done a bad season. I think I had him down as pegged as our 2nd best player this season. But if Leroy Sané had been around, would Mahrez have played as much? Not so sure. You know, so you saw last season, Mahrez didn't play that much really. So it was mainly Bernardo Silva and Sterling as the wide men. So it'll be interesting. But as I said, I want to see two new players, at least, you know, two new players who are better than what we've already got. I don't want just to rely on potential. You know, I want to get the team better. And as I said, in the last two seasons, we've got nobody. Cancelo wasn't better than what we had. Rodri wasn't better than what we had. Mahrez wasn't better than what we had. New Zealand fellow, Angelino was not better than what we currently had. Okay, so we didn't, in my opinion, improve the first team. We improved the squad, but not the first team. And that's what I want to see next time around. At least two players who will improve the first team by just pushing somebody else out and taking over. And if that's Koulibaly, if that's Upamecano, if you think that that's better, if that's Kai Havertz, if that's Haaland, you know, if that's Houssem Aouar, so be it. Yeah, but I do want two players. And I'm not massively fussed what position, but I just want people to push. And we've spent a bit of money on a Mahrez season. We spent 60 million. Last summer we spent 60 on Rodri and 60 on Cancelo and 5 on Angelino. But if truth be told, Cancelo wasn't 60. You know, that was just done. That was just done to help Juventus out, for them to get a big sale on their books, to help their accounts out. That's my opinion. You know, Danilo went for the price he did, and Cancelo went for the price he did to help Juventus on their books. Absolutely, Cafe del Casual. New blood is essential. It's not just new blood to bulk up the squad. It's new blood to force their way into the team and push others out. Guys, it's just gone 10 o'clock. I think that's my lot for the night. Thank you very much for coming on tonight. And absolutely airing our spine. If you think about it, my last question, Aguero's about to go, you know, I reckon one more season. Absolutely transformative. We need it. We had it with Yaya. We had it with we had Joe Hart, Yaya, David Silva, Aguero and company. That was like our spine, those 5 players. And all we're left with it, David Silva is going to finish after his small extension to finish the season. And I reckon Aguero will be gone at the end of next season, unless he's suddenly gets a new lease of life. You know, can you imagine Aguero being 33, 34 years old and still doing the business? I'm not sure. Sinisi Yusuf, hey, we're not had you on for ages. I don't believe Sinini Yusuf. I think I've seen you before, but we're just let to go, buddy. But we'll be around tomorrow. So I'll be around tomorrow, and please come and join us. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, hey, what's stopping you guys? Be really good if you can subscribe, and we'll keep it blue. Hey, we're in blue again. Keep it blue, and we'll have a chat tomorrow. Cheers, guys. Take care. Good evening.